Hi and Assalamualaikum guys. Today we are back with our next topic, which is called how hypothalamus and pituitary gland serve a healthy life. Before moving on, let's take a sneak peek on our topic. Today we are going to discuss about hypothalamus and pituitary gland itself, how it works, and play important roles in regulating our hormone. How these two can function efficiently even as small as pea size. Okay, so for hypothalamus, you can see on the figure, it is just small as an element, but this brain portion can help regulate our hormone. So it is a site of hormone producing with the help of neuron in hypothalamus, which is called neurosecretory cell. Also, it can help regulate our body internal balance, which is called homeostasis, in two ways. First, autonomic nervous system. This influences our heartbeat, blood pressure, appetite, moods, and water balance. Also, for the second one, it also helps glandular secretion of pituitary gland. It is also a link of endocrine system and also nervous system. We ever wonder what hormones are being produced here? Okay, for the example of primary hormone that are being produced in hypothalamus is ADH, oxytocin, growth hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone, and many more. To know about this hormone secretion, we are going to discuss it in pituitary gland.
Okay, thank you Amelzat. So let me continue with pituitary gland. What is pituitary gland? Pituitary gland is an important pea-sized organ. If our pituitary gland doesn't function properly, it will affect vital parts like our brain, skin, energy, mood, and many more. Because pituitary gland is the master gland because it tells other gland to release hormone. So as I say, the pituitary gland it will secrete hormone that we call chemical messenger of our body that travel through our bloodstream to different cells, telling them what to do. Okay, that's all from me.
In order to obtain more information related to hypothalamus and pituitary gland, our group conduct an interview. So our interviewer is Puan Fatimah binti Muhammad, who is 58 years old and living in Johor Bahru. The reason why we choose Puan Fatimah as our interviewer is because she is an ex-patient of hypothyroidism and suffered for the disease for about 2 to 3 years. The contents of the interview. What is hypothyroidism? So, hypothyroidism occurs when the person's thyroid gland is overactive and secretes excess amount of thyroid hormone, which include T3, which is triiodothyronine, or T4, which is thyroxine hormone. There are a few symptoms experienced by a hypothyroidism patient, which is this, as you can see in this picture. So, the symptom experienced by Puan Fatimah is menstrual changes and also a lump at her neck. So this lump is actually due to the enlargement of her thyroid gland. So the treatment suggested for Puan Fatimah is anti-thyroid drugs. So besides anti-thyroid drugs medications, there are two other treatments which can be taken by a hypothyroidism patient, which is either surgery or a radioactive iodine treatment. So, there are a few side effects of the treatment, which is a slight increased risk of the baby developing structural abdominitis. It means here the effect of the medication, which is the anti-thyroid drugs, is the fetus may be harmful for the fetus. So, how hypothalamus and anterior pituitary gland will affect the thyroid gland. So hypothalamus will control this anterior pituitary gland by producing hypothalamic releasing hormones. This anterior pituitary gland will then secrete a T TSH hormone, which is thyroid stimulating hormone, which will then stimulate this thyroid gland. So once this thyroid gland is stimulated, it will start to produce the thyroid hormones, which is either thyroxines or maybe triiodothyronine. So there are two conditions. So after this secretion of this thyroid hormone, there are two conditions, which is either if the first condition is over secretion of T3 or T4 hormone will lead to hyperthyroidism at this side. The next condition is the insufficiency or the lack of T3 or T4 hormones will lead to or will cause hypothyroidism.
Alright, now we will look at some of the diseases related to the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. First, diabetes mellitus or high blood sugar is caused when there is a hypersecretion of TH in the body. Acromegaly occurred in an adult when there is an overproduction of TH in a person. Next is diabetes insipidus, which is occurred when there is a lack of ADH released from the posterior pituitary. For a person who suffers pituitary gigantism, there is an excessive of TH secretion during childhood. Vice versa, there is a lack of TH production during childhood for a person who suffers from pituitary dwarfism. Lastly, hypoglycemia or low blood sugar is caused by the deficiency of TH in a person. That is all the diseases that are related to the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland.
Saya selalu tak boleh kontrol marah. Lepas tu saya tak boleh orang bising-bising. Apa-apa semua saya tak boleh. Kalau budak-budak menjerit ke marah, apa-apa yang silap sikit pun saya boleh pukul dia orang. Saya macam tak menentu saya punya marah. Terlalu emosi sangat. Lepas tu dia suruh saya nak cek leher saya. Bila dia cek leher, dia suruh telan, dia tengok dia macam ada nampak macam turun naik macam lah. Bila saya telan baru nampak. Bila macam tu doktor tu cakap ni memang nampak dia punya leher ni memang nampak macam ada kesan ada macam dengan dia lendir-lendir bengkak gitulah. 2 tahun lebih gitu. Dalam maksudnya dia bagi tahu, tapi bila lama dalam 2 tahun lebih tu saya dah berhenti ubat, dah berhenti makan ubat. Sampai cek setiap kali 6 bulan, 1 tahun tu saya cek pun memang normal. Dia punya saranan dia kalau boleh dia kata gula, garam semua kurangkan. Lepas tu makanan lauk semua kalau boleh. Boleh ambil bukan tak boleh ambil. Lepas tu daging merah ke kurangkan. Macam tu semualah dia punya nasihat bagi saya.